I got a little Leatherman T2 multi-tool today, T2 free. And this is actually just a replacement for one I had but lost. And it was just a really handy little tool, so I wanted another one. And it is nothing special, just little basic tools on it, and Phillips, screwdriver, flathead, bottle opener, can opener, that type stuff, and a little utility blade. It's great for opening packages, cutting rope, that type stuff, and just a good size for your pocket. Well, when I bought this, it made me realize something pretty profound. And that's we're at a place, a time and place right now in our society, cultures, where laws can't save us. And perfect example of what I'm talking about, gun control. Okay, we've got a problem with mass shootings here in the United States. Okay, and I think we all agree with that. And the answer as to how to fix that by a lot of people is to ban semi-automatic weapons. Okay, and I agree with their logic. If we get rid of all of the semi-automatic weapons, there won't be shootings by mass shooters using semi-automatic weapons. Pretty sound logic there. The problem is there's still going to be bad people that want to do bad things to other people. It doesn't fix that. Okay, so then those bad people, they're going to start using whatever firearms to do bad things, and then there'll be a big push to ban all firearms or tightly control them. Okay, and then those bad people would still be there and want to do bad things to other people. Then they're going to start using knives. And then we're going to go from gun control to knife control. All right, I know a lot of you say, well, that's just silly. Knife control, that wouldn't happen. Well, no, it's not silly, and yes, it would happen. In fact, it already has. The UK. Okay, that they've implemented stricter and stricter gun control laws over the years until the point that there's very few firearms there now, and they are very tightly controlled. Okay, and they have very little gun violence. The problem is they have a lot of knife violence now, a lot of stabbings, and they have actually implemented knife control. And this little knife right here would get me in a lot of trouble in the UK because it has a safety feature on it. This blade locks in place so that it can't accidentally close on my fingers. A locking blade in the UK is very illegal. And just to put this in perspective, this is what people used to give to kids, boys. This is very, very similar to a Boy Scout knife that was literally designed for boys. This is what I would have gotten as a kid. And now in the UK, they don't even trust men with this. Okay, well, what's next? Get rid of our banned screwdrivers? You have to have a permit for a hammer? I mean, that's where it's going there. And that's because they never addressed that problem of the bad people wanting to do bad things. Okay, this is where it gets serious though. We're at a point now with technology that bad people wanting to do bad things can hurt a lot of people now with the technology that's available. Okay. The pandemic. It appears, now I don't know what happened. Nobody knows, or at least if anybody does, they're not talking. But the overwhelming majority of us have no idea what happened and never will. But it seems very probable that it escaped from the lab in Wuhan. Okay, that seems to be the simplest, most logical explanation. And that research very much appears to have been funded by the NIH, National Institute of Health here in the United States. Okay, we have laws in place that prevent gain-of-function research here, so it was offshored to China. Now, that appears to be what happened. I don't know. Okay, but if it is, then we had laws in place to prevent such a pandemic and so many millions of deaths, and it appears people just bypassed that law. Okay, well, people that want to bypass laws can and do all the time. Congress. How corrupt is Congress now? I know not all the politicians are, but I'm guessing the majority. Okay, laws can't fix that. They're the people that pass the laws. When the people that make the laws are themselves corrupt, laws aren't going to fix that corruption. It can't. Okay, and the problem with Congress, it's not Congress, it's us, the people. We elected them. Okay, and our democracy's alive and well. How many of us, if we were in Washington, would behave any differently than the politicians that are in Washington? How many of us would also participate in insider trading? Okay, I'm guessing most of us. The people in Washington are just a perfect representation of us, which is how I know our democracy is alive and well. Okay, most of us are in debt up to here and can't control our spending. The people in Washington are just like us. And our country's in debt up to here and can't control spending. Okay, so how do we fix all this? And it's fixing to get even more serious. AI. Yeah, we know all the potential problems there. And science itself, okay, scientists they're messing with some pretty potent, potential serious things. Okay, laws can't control that. Scientists are working on things we don't even know exist yet. And so much of the science that's being done now is so specialized that I doubt hardly anybody even knows what a scientist or a team of scientists are working on, except for them. Politicians can't make laws for that. Okay, so me thinking about this, the only way I see out of this is morals, values, ethics. See, I don't see any other way out. Okay, we have to have scientists that as children were raised to have good morals, values, ethics, and then they grew up to be scientists that still have good morals, values, and ethics. And they have enough humility to look at something and say, yeah, there's a lot of potential there, but I don't think we need to fool with that right now. We need to wait until technology is advanced for whatever. Or they need to have the humility to make such a call. Yeah, we probably shouldn't do gain of function research on this. The potential for an accident there is just too great. Okay, that's the only way out of this. Abortion. Okay, a lot of people want laws banning abortion. Okay, I understand it, trying to protect innocent children, even if they are just embryos. All right, if they're still in the womb, they're still children. All right, the problem is the government can't protect children from their mothers. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, is protecting children from their own mothers. Okay, the problem isn't abortions being legal or illegal. The problem is that we even have to have a discussion talking about protecting children from their mothers. We've gone off the rails as a society when we're to that point, that discussion even exists. Okay, so how do we turn this around? I mean, that's the question right there. How do we have a society of people that don't want to do bad things to other people? That's the only way we fix this. How do we have a society of people that are honest and not corrupt, that want to help others? That's the only solution that I can see to any of the major issues we're facing. And the only answer I could come up with for this is each of us as individuals have to decide, okay, I'm going to be a moral, honest person. I don't care what anybody else does, I'm going to do that. I might not make a lot of money from insider trading. I might not be able to defraud a lot of people or get away with whatever. And you know, it's going to cost me a little bit, but I'm going to be a moral, honest person. And then I'm going to live a life, a good life. And I'm going to be an example to others, and I'm going to make them want to be like me. Just by the example I set and the life I live. Okay, so then we get more people with that same attitude that they decide, okay, they're going to be moral and ethical. And then we start getting together. meeting, you know, that type thing. How can we help our community? And there's a really old-fashioned word for this, and it's called church. Yeah. And then we decide, okay, well, we're going to elect politicians that are moral, ethical, good people, not perfect people. All right, that's something that a lot of us, we've gotten confused on. As Christians, those of us that are Christians, we know better than anybody. There are no perfect people. Only one, and they nailed him to a cross. The rest of us are all flawed sinners. And if we're only going to elect perfect people, then we're never going to elect anyone. But we can decide we're going to elect competent people, people that are moral, ethical, and they're trying to be good people. They're honest. I mean, that's it. That's all I see here. Okay, and this starts with each of us. Isn't it amazing the things we can think about because of a little multi-tool? I had talked about this before on the other channel, and then there were quite a few comments from those of you in the UK explaining to me how this would be very much illegal there. And I had absolutely no idea until I read those comments. And then when I bought this one today to replace that old one, it just reminded me of that, and that's what got me to thinking about all of this. And again, the only answer I've got for the problems we're facing is what I just said. Okay, the minimalist truck toolkit. I'm waiting on one more item before we can wrap that up, and I'll show you exactly what I got and how much I spent. And hopefully I'm done spending for the month. It's December. I mean, it's always expensive, but I've got one more gift to get for someone. But the whole point of everything I've been talking about for the past 2 months, going and getting the new boots, new clothes, my old boots repaired, the new truck, or new to me, is I'm trying to set myself up so that I'm not spending anything next year. I'm getting the big items that I need and taking care of all that right now. I'm spending what I've got to spend right now, and I should be good for all of next year. I mean, there's always going to be something out of the blue, especially with remodeling a new house, which, by the way, zero progress on that right now. I've been rained out completely for the last 2 weekends, both Saturday and Sunday. And when I get home from work now, it's just about dark. So keep your fingers crossed for me, and maybe I can get 2 good days in on it this coming weekend. All right. Till next time, God bless and have a great day.